Welcome to the last part in my freebie series, where I'm gonna make the last and more handmade things like the charms, earrings, pins and keychains, and different types of bracelets. Starting with the keychains, I had some generic keychain hardware already, so I just took the last ring off because I felt like the chain was a bit too long. Added and secured my charm, and then used an eye pin to make a second little dangly thing for the keychain by just adding a few colored beads and then shaping with pliers a little opening to make an eye to add to the keychain. I could have made them a little bit bigger or flashier, but really I was making so many different versions of freebies and so many different things that I just didn't feel like I had the time. In this version there are gonna be about 2 copies for each keisu and like 5 or 6 general Stray Kids charms. Moving on to the earrings, these were pretty easy to make. Again, I already had the hardware, so I pretty much just had to open the bottom loop and add my charm in. Super easy, but they do take 2 charms per freebies instead of 1, but that wasn't really an issue because I accidentally made way too many of them. Since I still had a lot of charms and also quite some stickers and temporary tattoos, but I was all out of photo cards because I just couldn't print as many as I would like to. I ended up making some extra earrings and keychains to make an additional version of my freebies. And when I ran out of keychain hardware, I made the keychains by using clasps, by just adding a couple of rings to it and adding the charm. Some also have the beads on the side, some don't, like this one, because I don't think it would have looked better. The pins were a completely different process. Again, I already had the metal back, and I made some bigger charms without the holes to use specifically for this. And really, I just used hot glue to stack them on there, but I'm really bad at using the hot glue gun. So it was still not the easiest thing for me, and you can see it by how the one on the right looks. It came out really poorly, that's why I'm not putting it in the freebies, that was mine. Since I was already at quite a good point, I started packaging some things because it was becoming a little bit unmanageable otherwise. So these are the bookmarks with the charm things and the additional 4th version of my freebies. The last thing to do were the bracelets. I did 2 main versions. This one is the one with hardware, so I'm using a clasp as closure. The process is a bit more complicated than the other one because you have to prepare the clasp by adding a ring to it and putting all that on one side of the double nylon string and securing it by squishing a metal bead first. Then you can start adding all of your beads. Just make sure that all of the letters are facing the same side since it can be annoying otherwise, and I speak from experience. For the other side of the bracelet, I just used a bigger ring in between the 2 strings and secured everything by squishing another metal bead and also using a little bit of super glue just to be safe. I made a few different sizes, but most weren't the biggest, so I also made a few elastic bracelets to try and be more inclusive. Unfortunately, I somehow lost the footage for that, but they're really easy to make because they don't require closure, like at all. And here again is an overview of everything I'm bringing. Version 1 with photo cards, temporary tattoos and stickers. Version 2 with postcards and bracelets. Version 3 with bookmarks and things made from charms. Version 4 with stickers, temporary tattoos and things made from charms. And I did end up also making these 3 with some leftover things. There are about 120 total, so definitely don't be shy and come find me in Rome on the 30th. I will be out and about and holding this sign.